Hey, y'all, welcome back. I'm your host, Ruthie Gray, and you're listening to the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast. Today, we're celebrating 3 years in podcast production. Woohoo! Before I go any farther, I just want to say a heartfelt thank you for those of you out there who have helped us achieve over 65,000 downloads in the past 3 years. We've produced over 120 podcast episodes and received nearly 100 ratings and reviews. It's because of you that we are here right now. We so appreciate your listenership, coming back week after week, sharing the show on Instagram and social media. If you're new here, we appreciate you too. If you've left a review, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those reviews are what lend credibility to the value that we're offering here at Authentic Online Marketing. If you're listening the week of June 5th through 11th, we'd love for you to help us celebrate by leaving a review of the podcast. Even if you already have, you can do this. Everyone who does during this week will be entered to win our Stories to Market workshop. This workshop will help you create simple stories with a purpose and strategy and repurpose them into 7 pieces of content, including reels. The way to enter is to simply leave a podcast review and then take a screenshot of it and tag me on Instagram. To enter more than once, share that screenshot again. Today, to celebrate, we are sharing our top 5 most downloaded episodes for this past year. Joining me are my special guests and behind-the-scenes heroes that help make the show run. Nolan Gray, my podcast producer and sound guy, theme creator and announcer, also my son, and Kylie Gray, my video editor and part-time VA. We'll also be joined later by Sarah Motes, my website designer and show notes editor, as we announce number 1 towards the end of the show. So welcome, enjoy the show. We're going to leave the links in the show notes for all of these 5 top downloaded episodes so that you can go back and listen again or listen for the first time if you haven't heard them. They are amazing. And now, listen in.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over glamour so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
All right. Are you ready for the top 5 most listened to episodes from the past year? Today, I'm joined by my son and daughter, who are contributors to the podcast and the great behind-the-scenes heroes. I did want to mention that my daughter, Haley, who worked for me for the past 2 years, has had a huge hand in many of these episodes, but she has since stepped away to start a family, which we are excited about. So welcome to the show, Kylie and Nolan.
Yay.
Hey, thanks for having us.
This should be fun. So what we're going to do is start with number 5, the 5th most listened to for the past year, and take it away, Nolan.
The 5th most listened to episode for the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast is episode number 62, which is the 10 superpowers case study that highlights 10 different women who discovered their superpowers and how their superpower fits into their business and gets infused with their online marketing strategy. And so we heard just quick kind of snippets of testimonies from 10 different women and their practical ideas and discoveries in the online space, and included rave reviews about how crucial the Authentic Online Marketing School has been in helping them discover their voice and boost their online presence throughout that superpower discovery and coaching. So I think a lot of people probably enjoyed hearing the practical what goes on.
Yeah,
as well.
apparently they did, since it's the 5th downloaded. And I always like highlighting our students here because they go from kind of lost or lacking direction or clarity on their strategy for Instagram, email, online marketing to a clear direction. And a lot of these women have gone on to further their businesses or create a business or grow their platforms. And that is just a testament of what we're trying to achieve, but also of their fortitude to take the reins and just go with it. And so I'm proud of these ladies. So if you did not listen to episode 62 about superpowers, which it's important to know your superpower so that you can work with it and know the things that you are good at. And then you can kind of offload the things that you aren't or delegate. Go ahead and take a listen to that episode. All right. So the next one is the fourth. What is that, Kylie?
The fourth most listened to episode is episode 34, Steal My Instagram Engagement Tip. And in this episode, it talks about finding people through hashtags or SEO, people that are complementary to your industry. So you find them through the hashtags or SEO and leave comments there so that you guys can have that connection. And then not only finding people who are complementary, but looking for your target audience and collaborating with those people in your target audience. So the episode just talks about stepping out of your comfort zone and not staying in your bubble, but getting past that so that you can build community with people. That's pretty much the whole thing. It's pretty short.
Yeah. And so it was just a couple simple tips. What is your message? Take the main keywords. If you don't know what the keywords are to your message, Google your topic, your main message, and see what comes up and start using those type of keywords and then use them in your bio on Instagram, use them in your marketing, your terminology, your captions, your reels, and then take it over, crossing over to hashtags and using it there, and then reaching out to new people that you find through those keywords and hashtags. So take a listen to episode 34 if you need some new engagement with a new audience. All right. And the third most listened to, Nolan has. What is that, Nolan?
It's actually the episode right before the one we just discussed. It's episode 33, which was 5 features for your woman-owned website. So go girl power. This episode was celebrating in honor of the official launch of the website, AuthenticOnlineMarketing.com. This episode was sharing 5 tips, helpful tips for a great website. And those 5 tips were to have good personality and copy, have clear offerings, clear images, have testimonies on there, and then solid opt-ins as well.
Yeah. And the reason that we wanted to do this is because oftentimes you want a home base for your products, your podcast, your book. And we launched our brand new website, Authentic Online Marketing, in the spring of last year, 2022. So we wanted to talk about that and what is involved. So we wanted to draw attention to our new website. We had a giveaway. We had lots of traffic come through so people could see exactly what we showcase and offer. So we do those things as well. We show a personality right off the bat by saying we offer content marketing so easy your mom or Carol Brady could do it. And that just lets you know right off the bat whether you're going to like us or not, because I'm a child of the 70s. I love to use 70s terminology, and other women who are that instantly connect. I have gotten followers and opportunities just from that line right there. Someone told me last week that one line, after I read it, I knew I was in. So just drawing attention to your website and knowing exactly what you need on it. Before, we had kind of a meh website that I was just making do, but it was really geared towards parenting. So if you're thinking of launching a new website, go take a listen to episode 33. All right. So let's go with the second most listened to episode of the last year. Kylie, what is it?
It's episode 35, How to Grow Your Biz by Doing Less with Alicia Byers. I really enjoyed listening to this episode because it's all about rest. And she shares 3 ways to build time for rest, which she says are don't see everything as black and white, setting appropriate work hours, and seeing rest as a goal. So the overarching theme of the episode is to prioritize rest with your work so that you can grow more. And it's a really good episode to re-listen to like every once in a while because it shifts your mind back into focus of where you need it to be on that rest. It's like she has such great tips too. And like there's so many things that she goes through in that episode. And I was like, oh, I really enjoy listening to this one again. But then she also talks about how to use Instagram strategically. And she says, show up to add value to others, not just yourself, not just like, what can I get? She talks about connecting like on a personal level to your followers and to also be in a community with your followers that respects your boundaries for rest. Because again, rest is like the theme here of like respecting those boundaries and like being sure that that is your priority. So it was a really good episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one too. Since we released it, I've gone back and listened to it a couple of times, and I would like to do so again because this is something that as a business owner, I struggle with. I just struggle with it as a person because I've just always thought that I should be busy doing something. And a lot of times, especially I think the women of my generation, we're just used to, we've already raised our kids, but we worked hard during that whole time. And we feel like we still need to do the marathon. And honestly, when you're running a business or building a platform or marketing online, you must get away in order to rest your brain. And I'm glad that you liked that episode, Kylie, because I know that that does resonate with you. That's something that you try to do. And it actually prods me to try to do it too when I see you doing that. So I'm glad it resonated.
Yeah, it was so good. Like I could keep saying more things about this one.
Oh, that's awesome. So you guys go back and listen to that. Episode 35, How to Grow Your Business by Doing Less with Alicia Byers. She's awesome. Now, for our top most listened to episode, let's hear the drum roll. Okay, hope y'all enjoyed that. Is episode 32, Using the Pinterest Search Engine to Drive Traffic with Sarah Moats. And using Pinterest's giant search engine in a targeted way is what it's all about and how to use it in conjunction with Instagram. And actually, Sarah is joining us to talk about this for just a few minutes. Welcome, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this again.
We talked about how much time to spend on Pinterest, important Pinterest tools, how to use Pinterest as a sales funnel, and ideas like repurposing stories and reels for idea pins. And something that you said that I thought was really good was so many people are stuck in the nurture game instead of the discovery game. Get on Google, YouTube, Pinterest, because they're giant search engines, right?
Yes. So if I understand how appealing Instagram is and Facebook, and you're making all these friendships and it's super fun. But if you really want to be capturing people who are super qualified for the service that you offer, they're actively looking for you by typing in what you do onto those platforms like YouTube, like Pinterest, like Google and all that. So you need to already be there where they're searching.
Right. And something you said on there was that it doesn't really take a lot of time out of your schedule. You just can repurpose really like even stories or reels over there. Just use what you've already got. Why don't you share with the folks something that you recently told me that you discovered on Pinterest?
Yes. So last week, my husband and I were on a very long vacation. It was 5 days, child free, and it was amazing. And I was not working at all on those 5 days. But I received an email from a lady in Australia who had a business. I checked it out, made sure it was legit. But she said, "Hey, I just found you on Pinterest. Can you please redo my website? I have a vision for what I want. I just need someone who knows what they're doing to actually do it." And I was like, wow, like, no, I couldn't because I don't have the availability right now. However, the fact that I have not done anything on Pinterest for probably a year and a half, I have not created any new content on any platform. But have I received inquiries on Instagram? No. Have I received anything on Facebook? No. But because Pinterest is still working for me a year and a half later, I'm getting inquiries in for high paying projects without me having to market myself for a year and a half. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. And, we have this in common because my parenting blog, ruthiegray.mom, I still have tons and tons of pins over there. And that blog's been alive for almost 10 years. And I am still getting traffic, still getting signups, still getting book purchases just from Pinterest. So I believe it's, worthwhile to just invest a little bit of time, repurpose what you've already got and go on over there.
Yeah. And if you have a lot of content and the idea of putting everything onto Pinterest sounds super daunting and super overwhelming, here's what I would recommend. Take your top 5, whatever, your top 5 blog posts or podcast episodes or what have you, and just create one pin for each of them and put them on Pinterest. Make sure the pin title and the pin description are keyword rich and leave them there. At least you have something out there. I did not have thousands and thousands of pins on there. I hardly have any blog posts. So the little I did have still reaped the benefits.
Yeah. And so if you are interested in using a little bit of time to grow your Pinterest account, then I would urge you to go over there, listen to episode 32 and glean all the knowledge from Sarah. And Sarah, thank you so much for popping in to celebrate our #1 most downloaded episode for this past year.
You're so welcome.
All right. This has been a fun episode. Again, I want to just encourage you to check out the show notes, hit the links that seem the most, or even just the top link that seems the most important to you that you need to listen to right now and in this time of your life, the one that resonates the most. And then be sure to enter our giveaway by leaving a review. And then after that review is published, sometimes you have to wait a little bit, then take a screenshot of it once it's published and send it to your stories on Instagram and tag me at Authentic Online Marketing Pod to be entered for the drawing this week. So to sum up, number 5 was episode 62, 10 superpower case studies. Number 4 was episode 34, steal my Instagram engagement tip. Number 3, episode 33, 5 features for your women-owned website. Number 2, episode 35, how to grow your biz by doing less with Alicia Byers. And number 1, episode 32, using Pinterest as a search engine to drive traffic with Sarah Motes. As I said, all the links are in the show notes. And thanks for joining me today, Nolan and Kylie.
Absolutely.
Woo-hoo. Thanks for having us.
This is fun. We do this every year, guys. So make sure that you continue to listen. And we appreciate you so much for joining us and making this podcast the success that it has become. I had no idea that so many people would subscribe, would enjoy it. And it just goes to show you that if you have an inkling of wanting to start a podcast, if you have a message that you feel like the world needs to hear, then you should definitely go for it. And a special shout out to my podcast coach who started it all, Coach Ren Robbins. We'll put her link in the show notes too, because she is the reason that I'm here. All right. And here's to year 4 of more marketing tips to grow your platform without sounding like an infomercial. Until next time, remember to share your message your way in your own authentic voice.